This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Here's a look at the headlines that are making the news this January 6th. Ahead at 5 on Good Morning Indiana, Metro Police are investigating a deadly shooting on the city's west side.
Plus, we're learning more about a deadly crash on I-65 in Boone County that left 3 people dead yesterday, including a 1-year-old. The message police have for drivers this morning.
And the 2020 General Assembly gets underway today. Our Kelsey Anderson is working for you this morning with a preview on what Indiana lawmakers are working on this session. But first, we do need to get a check of your Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right, and a lot of kids are heading back to the bus stop for the first time in 2 weeks this morning. Alyssa, what do they need to wear?
You know what? I think we have to bundle the kids up this morning, especially because it's going to be a shock for a lot of us since we have been a little bit lucky with those temperatures being above average the past couple weeks. Today, we're starting with those temperatures in the low 30s and upper 20s. So a bit of a chilly start today. We are seeing clear skies this morning. We'll see a little bit more cloud coverage as we head towards the afternoon hours. Clear skies across our satellite and radar, so we're not expecting any precipitation out there. Those clear skies have helped clear us, or cool us down rather, overnight tonight. We have high pressure in control throughout the day today, and then we do have just a small disturbance off to our west. That's going to start to move through as we head into the afternoon. What that's going to do is just bring us some more clouds. So enjoy the sunshine to start the day, because by the afternoon we will see more cloud coverage. Temperatures today climbing into the low 40s. We are starting dry for most of the week, and then we do have quite a bit of rainfall as we head towards the weekend. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's plan out your drive right now on the west side, heading in from Brownsburg here on eastbound I-74, starting at State Road 267, heading to I-465. It's a 7-minute drive, no delays there. Let's travel down to the Beech Grove area. Good morning to you. A live look from our INDOT traffic camera here at I-465. This one's a little west of Emerson Avenue. You can see traffic is already picking up on your Monday morning, and it's traveling up to speed.
New this morning, Metro Police are investigating a deadly shooting on the city's west side. This happened around 9:45 last night at a home on Mount Shasta Drive near Raceway Road. We're told when officers arrived, they found the victim suffering from a gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Officers determined multiple shots were fired from inside the home. A person of interest has been taken into custody.
Also new this morning, a body found in a pond in northwest Indiana has been identified as a Chicago man who's been missing for weeks. 47-year-old Joseph Clopton was last seen December 16th. His body was found near Fish Lake in LaPorte County on Friday. An autopsy is set for today to determine his cause of death.
This morning, we're learning more details about a deadly crash on I-65 in Boone County that left 3 people dead, including a 1-year-old, and injured more than a dozen others. Police say 34-year-old Matthew Lewis Small of Michigan was driving a semi heading northbound when he looked down to set his coffee mug down, and he ran into slowing traffic near the 129-mile marker in Whitestown. He slammed into 8 vehicles, plowing through the backup. We're told his semi then caught fire and pinned a vehicle with the 3 people inside against a guardrail. 21-year-old Mariah Tomey, 1-year-old Hadley Tomey, and 19-year-old Kaylee Kirk all died in the crash. 14 other people were injured. One vehicle was pushed over the guardrail and flipped onto the driver's side. Deputies say those injured are all expected to survive. Small is charged with 3 counts of reckless homicide. This is the second deadly crash involving an alleged distracted semi-truck driver in central Indiana in the past 6 months. Boone County Sheriff Mike Nielsen says distracted driving or driver inattention is a major cause of many accidents on our roads. He released this statement saying, "Today is a sad day for 2 Boone County families. The loss of 2 young women and a 1-year-old child." He goes on to say, "Please pay attention to your driving when operating a motor vehicle. Give yourself plenty of room to have a way out. Put down your phone or other objects, and do not drive distracted or impaired," end quote.
The time now is 5:04. Leaders of the United Methodist Church want to restructure that denomination. A proposal has been announced that would settle decades debate over what the church calls fundamental differences regarding beliefs on several LGBTQ issues. Under the plan, the church would lift its ban on same-sex weddings and the ordination of non-celibate gay clergy. A new spin-off denomination called Traditionalist Methodist would continue to ban them. We spoke with one local pastor who welcomes the change, saying that it will allow the church to become more inclusive.
My hope is, of course, that the laws of the church will change in order to allow us to be more supportive of people who wish to get married, more supportive of people who wish to come into leadership of the church.
The General Council is expected to consider the proposal in May. They could choose to amend it or completely throw it out. If the proposal passes, local churches would be able to choose whether they want to stay in the United Methodist Church or join a new denomination.
Indiana lawmakers are back to work today for the start of the 2020 legislative session. There are plenty of potential bills being put forward, and our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with the details on some bills that could have a big impact on you. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning, Meredith. Yeah, so there's a wide array of bills that are going to be talked about during this legislative session, from the legalization or decriminalization of marijuana to cold beer sales in grocery stores to school discrimination bill. So members of the state's minority party will try to enact some kind of marijuana-related legislation, either decriminalization or legalization, but it's unlikely to happen with the Republicans in power opposing those changes. And despite the thousands of teachers at the State House in November, legislative leaders are unlikely to make any changes to teacher pay this session. And a new bill filed just last week could have a big impact on many schools. Democratic Senator J.D. Ford filed a bill that he says will prevent schools that discriminate against students, teachers, and staff from receiving taxpayer money. He filed it in response to Roncalli High School, which fired guidance counselor Shelley Fitzgerald after it was discovered she was married to a woman. Ford filed a similar bill last year, but it didn't get a hearing.
I'm hoping that the relationships that I've built, and this is what this business is based upon, being able to talk with my colleagues in a frank manner, I'm hoping that those conversations will help to lead to possibly, the bill getting a hearing. I do have a pretty...
Roncalli has received nearly $5 million in public money through the state's Choice Scholarship Program. Now, this is a relatively short session for state lawmakers, as they will not pass a budget, and they're expected to be finished with their business in early March. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Another major setback for Washington Square Mall, as two major retailers are set to leave. Sunday, Dick's Sporting Goods closed permanently, and later this month, Burlington will close its doors. The closures come several months after Ohio-based Durga Property LLC took control of that site. Shoppers we spoke with say they're sad to see this once booming mall go downhill.
It's kind of unfortunate. This was a big mall when I was young, real busy, but it's gone downhill past years or so. But yeah, it sucks to see another store go down in the mall.
Despite the closures, the property manager says they plan to continue making improvements to the mall. Since August, the company has fixed doors, lights, replaced fixtures, painted, and added more security.
An update now on a local pastor who's battling leukemia and looking for a bone marrow match. Avery Bush Sr. is the pastor of Christian Faith Baptist Church. He was diagnosed with leukemia in July. Since then, he's gone through several rounds of chemo, but doctors say the cancer will likely keep coming back without a bone marrow transplant. Right now, there is no match on the National Stem Cell Donor Registry for Pastor Bush. But since our story first aired on Pastor Bush, 214 people have answered the call registering to become donors. If you would like to sign up to help, you can go to join.bethematch.org/Pastor Bush, or you can text Pastor Bush, just one word, to 61474. Here at 5:09 on our Monday morning, here's something we haven't seen in a few weeks.
The bus stop forecast. I know. I feel like I haven't used this graphic in several weeks, but we need it today. I know a lot of kids are heading off to school. It's going to be a chilly start, clear skies, so you're going to need to bundle those kids up as you head out the door. By the afternoon, temperatures into the low 40s. Still going to feel a little chilly compared to some of those warmer temperatures that we've seen the past few weeks, and we're going to build in some cloud coverage by the afternoon as well. What's going on is high pressure is in control today, but we have a quick disturbance that will move through this afternoon that will just bring us the potential still have some cloud coverage. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, today and tomorrow, those temperatures will be in the 40s. We'll have a quick drop down on Wednesday, and then we are back well above average Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but that comes with the price of rainfall. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. An urgent NATO meeting is being held today to discuss the escalating tensions between the U.S. and Iran, what leaders hope to accomplish, and how leaders around the world are responding to the rising tensions.
And hundreds of millions of dollars are pouring into Australia as bushfires continue to rage across the country. A look at who's donating and how you can help.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Today, NATO ambassadors will gather for an urgent meeting in Brussels to discuss growing tensions between the United States and Iran. The meeting comes days after a U.S. drone strike in Baghdad killed a top Iranian general. Following the strike, President Trump took to Twitter warning against any retaliation. Iran likewise is making threats. This week, the U.S. House of Representatives is expected to introduce and vote on a resolution that limits President Trump's potential military actions in regard to Iran. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson issued a joint statement calling for de-escalation.
In Kenya, an attack on a military base has left 3 Americans dead. The al-Qaeda affiliate al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack. The victims include a U.S. service member and 2 military contractors. Their identities have not yet been released. The two Department of Defense employees were also injured in that attack. Kenyan officials say at least 5 of the attackers were killed, but not before they destroyed several planes, helicopters, and other military equipment. Time now, 5:14. Wildfires continue to rage here in Australia. Right now, 146 fires are burning across the state of New South Wales, 65 of which are not contained.
24 people have died since the fires began in September, and 500 million animals have been killed. Now, people across the globe are stepping up to help. Dozens of celebrities have pledged to donate millions of dollars, including actress Nicole Kidman and country singer Keith Urban, both native Australians. They have pledged to give $500,000. The couple also shared several links on their Instagram pages to local fire services where anyone can make donations. Pop star Pink is also donating $500,000. Australian comedian Celeste Barber has helped raise more than $28 million. And the family of the late crocodile hunter Steve Irwin is continuing his legacy of rescuing and saving wildlife in danger. They say they have now rescued and treated more than 90,000 animals.
Wow. Well, here at 5:15, in a massive display of solidarity against anti-Semitism, more than 10,000 people marched across the Brooklyn Bridge on Sunday to protest a recent string of anti-Semitic attacks. Demonstrators chanted "No hate, no fear" as they gathered in Lower Manhattan and marched to Brooklyn. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo kicked off the march by announcing the state will spend an additional $45 million to protect faith-based groups from being targeted for hate crimes. The protest came a week after a man armed with a machete stormed a Hanukkah celebration at a rabbi's home. The rampage followed at least 13 anti-Semitic attacks in the New York, New Jersey region.
A car accident left a North Carolina man with a traumatic brain injury and a new talent. 4 years ago, Scott Mell was stopped at an intersection when a driver hit him at 70 miles per hour. 4 months later, he woke up feeling lost. He didn't know at the time, but he suffered a traumatic brain injury. He fell into a deep depression, and one day, while at a craft store with his kids, he had a compelling urge to paint. Scott says before the accident, he had no artistic ability, but now he's painting masterpieces.
It was the first time in 4 months that I actually saw something that I could relate to that was mine, that I felt like was me.
Scott later learned he had atypical acquired savant syndrome, known in the medical community as an extraordinary condition where an individual displays remarkable abilities they did not have before a brain injury. He's one of just 33 known cases in the world. I guess we like that story so much from Friday. We did it again today to start your Monday. We are going to head on over to Alyssa now for a check at our forecast. A pretty tame week ahead.
Yeah, so we're starting pretty tame at least, and then things change as we approach the weekend. So we're staying quiet quiet and dry through midweek. Those temperatures just a little bit above average for the first couple days. Then we're going to drop down briefly into the 30s for our daytime highs on Wednesday before more chances of rain are in the forecast Thursday and Friday and Saturday. We do have some flooding concerns with those systems coming our way, looking at the potential for up to 4 inches of rainfall as the systems move through. Today, we're starting quiet and clear. However, it is chilly outside. Those temperatures in the upper 20s and low 30s across the area. So if your kids are heading back to school today, heading to the bus stop, definitely want to bundle them up because this is going to be a bit of a shock to the system since we have had such warm starts to our days the past couple weeks. Temperatures due to the clear sky that we had overnight. Those clear skies starting with us as well and staying with us for much of our Monday. We are going to see those temperatures climbing close to 40 by the noon hour. So just a little bit above average. We'll climb into the upper 40s or low 40s rather this afternoon. And then we are going to see that cloud coverage build back in later today and overnight. The good news is with that cloud coverage overnight, we won't start as cool tomorrow morning because we'll have those clouds to insulate us from that cool, dry air. As we head into Tuesday, things will be kind of quiet. Our next real weather concern is just the colder temperatures that are going to move in on Wednesday. This is not going to be extreme cold, but you're going to notice it because we are going to see those temperatures climbing just into the 30s. Behind that, we do have 2 low pressure systems set up to impact us. The first one is going to come in on Thursday late in the day, and that's going to impact us Thursday and into Friday. The second one right behind it is going to come in on Friday night and into Saturday, and that one is going to be the one that brings us a little bit more moisture. That second one is moving up from the Gulf, bringing a lot of that wet weather with it, which means we have the potential of some flooding as that system moves through. The first one just going to bring some light rain, the second one bringing that heavier rainfall potential. Today we're starting clear and chilly. Temperatures in the 20s will climb into the low 40s this afternoon with light winds, starting with sunshine, and then we will see those clouds increase throughout your Monday. Quiet for Tuesday and Wednesday. Those rain showers move in Thursday.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Here is a live look right now at traffic on your Monday morning on the northwest side of town. I-465 here in West 86th Street. You can see traffic is picking up, but traffic is traveling up to speed in both directions, northbound and southbound there this morning. Let's plan out your drive heading in from the west side of town. Down here, maybe if you're heading from the airport into downtown, it's a 12-minute drive on I-70 eastbound this morning from Ronald Reagan Parkway to the South Split. No issues to report there. So let's travel across town to the east side. I-70 and Emerson Avenue, a live look from our INDOT traffic camera in that area. Everything is moving along smoothly. We'll continue to keep an eye on the roads and let you know if there's anything you need to avoid for your commute.
Tesla says it met the ambitious annual sales forecast issued by Chief Executive Elon Musk. The company said it sold more than 367,000 cars last year. Musk's forecast was between 360 and 400,000 vehicles. Its fourth quarter vehicle sales set a quarterly sales record and rose 15% from the prior quarter. The news pushed Tesla's stock to a new record high on Friday.
2019 was a big year for Hollywood, thanks in part to Disney. The company helped rake in billions at the box office across the globe. On the backs of Avengers Endgame, The Lion King, and Frozen 2, Disney set a new record for any studio, making more than $11 billion worldwide. Overall, movies grossed over $41 billion worldwide in 2019, and the company is starting 2020 off strong. The final installment of Star Wars already has made $800 million since opening last month, and their streaming service is projected to have more than 25 million subscribers by the end of the first quarter. It is awards season in Hollywood. Last night, the Golden Globes kicked things off. Coming up, we'll take you behind the scenes with a look at the biggest moments of the night.
Buzzers ready? We are just one day away from the Jeopardy, the greatest of all time primetime special. And this morning, GMA is the only place to see the 3 competitors live before the big event. We'll be right back.
More of that.
Award season is underway in Hollywood, and there were plenty of surprises and upsets at this year's Golden Globes. ABC's George Panaccio takes us backstage with the winners.
1917. The Golden Globe ceremony proved victorious for the World War I-centered film 1917, which took home 2 big awards, Best Drama Film and Best Director for Sam Mendes. With no big names on the marquee, Mendes says the backing of Steven Spielberg was key to getting his movie made.
When you send a script like this out and somebody like Steven says, this is incredible, I love this, I want to make it, you know, it's thrilling.
Joaquin Phoenix earned the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Drama for Joker. The category's Best Actress, Renee Zellweger, for her role in Judy.
People still want to share about what she means to them 50 years after her passing. It says so much, doesn't it?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood! Once Upon a Time in Hollywood shined brightly with 3 wins: Best Comedy Film, Best Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actor for Brad Pitt.
Listen, it's nice to be acknowledged. It's really, really nice after all the work.
The Best Actor in a Comedy or Musical trophy was awarded to Taron Egerton for Rocketman. Best Actress in a Comedy, Awkwafina for The Farewell. She's the first Asian American woman to win in this category.
It was pretty mind-blowing. I think it feels incredible, but I think there's also this other feeling that you want there to be more. I think I hope this is just the beginning. Yeah.
The Golden Globes are over for another year. Next up on the awards list, the Oscar nominations. They come out on January 13th. In Los Angeles, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
All right, well, one of my resolutions in 2020 is to watch a movie at some point.
Just one?
I haven't watched one in a while, or gotten through one.
I've already got to beat, I think. I think I've already watched a couple so far this year.
I always fall asleep.
So, yeah, lots of good stuff, though, out there. Yeah. All right. Weather-wise...
it's a good start.
Yeah, not too bad.
It's not going to be a great end, though, to the week. So enjoy the first half of the week. It's not going to be warm, but it is going to be... We'll see some sunshine Monday and Tuesday, a little cooler by Wednesday, and then we do have quite a bit of rainfall coming in Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday. You're going to need to be aware of. We have some flooding concerns as well. So a bit of a roller coaster week ahead. We'll be right back. Only on RTV6 News.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30, a man is in custody after a crash killed 3 and injured dozens of others on I-65. The charges that semi-truck driver is now facing.
And today marks the beginning of a new legislative session at the State House, how a new bill is hoping to address school discrimination.
But first, speaking of school, lots of kids heading back to class today.
It's crazy. They've been off probably 2 weeks now. A lot of them getting back on the bus today, and Alyssa Donovan is standing by with what they need to wear on their first day back for the new year. Alyssa?
I know a lot of kids are heading back today. Our bus stop forecast, I haven't had to use it in a while, but today as you guys are bundling up your kids, that's exactly what you're going to need to do. Bundle them up. Temperatures are starting in the 20s this morning, so it's just a chilly start to our day. We have these northwesterly winds that are helping usher in that cooler air, and we have clear skies. As we head through the afternoon, we are going to continue to see clear skies for the most part, and then we'll build in a little bit more cloud coverage throughout the late afternoon and early evening, and that's all due to just a small disturbance that's just off to our west right now. That's going to quickly move through, just bringing us the potential of a little bit more cloud coverage. Today, our highs will climb into the low 40s. We're staying in the low 40s tomorrow as well. We'll see a little bit of a dip down midweek on Wednesday with those temperatures cooling off into the 30s before we see the potential of some warmer weather and some wet weather to end our week. I'll have all those details coming up in the full forecast.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look at your commute on this Monday morning. Many people heading back to work today after those 2 weeks off for the holidays. Let's take a look here on the northwest side. I-465 and West 86th Street. Traffic is moving along just fine. No issues to slow you down. Let's take a turn right now to our maps and plan out your commute. South side drivers, we're looking at your commute here up State Road 37, starting off at Bluff Road near that Wicker Road area. It's an 8-minute drive up to I-465. No delays there. And then over here on I-65 traveling northbound, if you get on at Southport Road heading up to the North Split downtown, that's only a 10-minute drive, so everything there is moving along up to speed. Let's take a turn right now to the east side, I-70 and Emerson Avenue, where traffic looks to be moving along up to speed. We'll continue to keep our eyes on the roads and let you know if there are any crashes or delays. It is 5:32. New this morning, an Indigo Red Line station is damaged after an early morning crash. This was the scene around 3 o'clock this morning at 18th and Meridian Street. Officers say they aren't sure what led up to this crash. The man driving this now crushed car was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Alcohol is not believed to be a factor in the crash. We have reached out to Indigo to see if the damage will impact pickup times at this location, and we are still waiting on a response.
Indianapolis police are also investigating a deadly shooting on the west side. A man was found dead in a home on Mount Shasta North Drive near North Raceway Road around 9:45 last night. When emergency crews arrived, they found the man with an apparent gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene. According to police, multiple people were inside the home when shots were fired. They aren't sure what led up to the shooting, but they do have a person of interest in custody. This morning, a truck driver is facing felony charges in connection to a deadly crash on I-65 Sunday.
2 adults and an infant were killed, and more than a dozen others were hurt in this crash that shut down the interstate up in Whitestown. Investigators say Matthew Small was driving northbound on I-65 around 11 o'clock Saturday morning when he looked down to set his coffee mug down and ran into slowing traffic. Boone County officials say he hit 8 vehicles. The semi then caught on fire and pinned a vehicle against the guardrail, killing the 3 people inside. Those victims have been identified as 21-year-old Mariah Tomey, 1-year-old Hadley Tomey, and 19-year-old Kaylee Kirk. 14 other people were injured but are expected to survive. Small is now facing 3 counts of reckless homicide and is being held in the Boone County Jail.
This is the second time in the past 6 months that we've seen a deadly crash in central Indiana involving a distracted semi-truck driver. On July 14th of last year, an Indianapolis mother and her twin 18-month-old daughters died in a multi-vehicle crash on I-465 near Keystone Avenue. It all began with a truck being driven by Bruce Pollard barreled into stop traffic. Pollard told detectives he had reached for an iced tea and took his eyes off the road for just a moment before realizing traffic was stopped in front of him. Pollard is set to go to trial early next month.
At 5:35, Greencastle police are asking for your help to find a man who's been missing for more than 2 weeks. 45-year-old Darren Huff was last seen December 21st. A candlelight vigil was held for Huff last night, and a Facebook page has been set up to help raise awareness. Anyone with any information about Huff's whereabouts is asked to contact the Putnam County Dispatch at 765-653-3155.
Today, IMPD and Fishers police are set to speak publicly about 3 people accused in a 7-day crime spree. On Friday, the Marion County prosecutor announced several charges against Richard Garrett, DeLance Hatcher, and Rashana Farrow. The alleged crimes happened in mid-October and include shootings, robberies, and murder, and involved 18 different victims. 2 of the suspects might sound familiar. Farrow and Garrett are also being charged in connection with the death of a Fishers police canine named Harley in November. That update is scheduled for 1 this afternoon. Indiana lawmakers are back at work today for the start of the 2020 legislative session.
And there are plenty of potential bills being put forward, and our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with the details on some of the bills that could have a big impact on you if they pass. Hey, Kelsey.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, so one of those bills was just submitted last week, and it could take away taxpayer money from some schools if they're found to have discriminated against students, teachers, or staff. So State Senator J.D. Ford filed it in response to Roncalli High School, which fired guidance counselor Shelley Fitzgerald after it was discovered she was married to a woman. Ford filed a similar bill last year, but it didn't get a hearing. But this year, he has Indiana Public School Superintendent Jennifer McCormick behind him, also pushing for the legislation.
This is truly a passion of mine that we need to be inclusive of everyone in Indiana. You know, we need to consider our students who identify LGBTQ are 5 times more likely to attempt suicide. So in a day where we're watching the numbers come out.
Some other bills on the agenda include the legalization or decriminalization of marijuana and also cold beer sales in grocery stores. But one issue that likely won't be debated is teacher pay. Now, this is a relatively short session for state lawmakers as they won't be making a budget, and they're expected to be done in early March. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. A new Indiana rule in effect this year is requiring risk assessments to be done on booked inmates inmates with hopes to release more from jail. Criminal justice officials say the new system requires all inmates to be released on bond unless they present a substantial danger to themselves or others. It also mandates that an evidence-based risk assessment be used to make that decision. The rule was adopted by the Indiana Supreme Court in 2017, but just went into effect January 1st. Officials say the change is expected to eventually reduce overcrowding in the county jails.
It is 5:38. We do have a warning this morning for any pet owners out there. There have been several recent sightings of coyotes, and a local group that helps to recover at-risk dogs is putting out a warning. Animal Containment and Education posted that they're working a case on the north side of Brownsburg. They say it's normal to see coyotes on their cameras where they work, but recently they've noticed the coyotes are packing up and acting aggressively around their feeding station. They say generally they don't eat the food that they put out, but they believe there's some hunger issues for the coyotes. For your pet safety, they recommend keeping them inside and supervising them when they go out. Coyotes can jump fences, and when they run in packs, the group says they can be dangerous even to larger dogs.
Major improvements are coming to the Lawrence branch of the Indianapolis Public Library, but before that happens, the library will be temporarily closed. The closure began yesterday as crews began work on the $1.5 million renovation project. The upgrades include a new entrance and new group study and tutoring areas. There will also be improved access to technology, charging stations, and new spaces for children, teens, and adults. Any materials placed on hold can be picked up at the Glendale branch. Construction is expected to be complete by the middle of this year. All right, Alyssa, as the kids head out the door to school this morning, we have some bad news. They are going to need to throw a jacket over that new outfit they got over winter break.
Yeah, today is the day you want to wear your new hat and gloves if you got them as you head out the door with the kids this morning. Temperatures starting just below freezing. We're at 30 degrees right now in Indianapolis, in the upper 20s for some of our northern counties. We'll see those temperatures dip down just a couple degrees in the next couple hours here, just because we have clear skies across the area, and those are going to stay that way for much of the day. So we have those clear skies because high pressure is in control. We also have a northwesterly wind right now, which is helping usher in some cooler air. So it is going to be a chilly start to our day. By the afternoon, we'll recover a little bit. Those temperatures will climb into the low 40s, and we will see some sunshine, and then we'll see a little bit more cloud coverage as we head into the late afternoon hours. Starting cloudy on Tuesday as well, and then we are going to see some sunshine later in the day on Tuesday. A little bit chillier by Wednesday morning.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. New warnings after the U.S. launches an airstrike killing an Iranian commander. Coming up, what Iran is promising to do next and how the U.S. is responding.
And multiple people were killed and dozens injured after a tour bus crashes in Pennsylvania. Still ahead, what officials believe caused the deadly pileup. It's 5:40. We'll be right back.
About to fix it.
Threats coming from both the U.S. and Iran after the U.S. killed a top Iranian commander last week. President Trump tweeting he has more targets in mind, while those in Iran are speaking of revenge. ABC's Karina Mitchell has the latest.
Overnight, President Trump doubling down on striking cultural sites in Iran as tensions escalate in the Middle East after the killing of Iran's top military commander. Trump said the U.S. will strike back if Iran retaliates, citing 52 possible targets identified in Iran, some of them cultural sites. That comment drew criticism because targeting cultural sites could be considered a war crime under international agreements.
As you know, the Geneva Conventions outlaw attacks on cultural objects and places of worship.
We'll behave inside the system. We always have, and we always will.
In Iran, all 290 members of that country's parliament chanted, quote, "Death to America." And the general who's replacing Soleimani is vowing to, quote, "take revenge," as the country announces it will no longer abide by the uranium enrichment limits in the 2015 nuclear deal. The back-and-forth threats come after President Trump ordered the strike on Qasem Soleimani near the Baghdad airport last week. U.S. officials claim they had intelligence that he was going to carry out acts that would cost American lives.
It's impossible to overstate the significance of the attack that takes out Qasem Soleimani.
In response, Iraq's parliament, in a non-binding decision, has voted to expel U.S. troops from the country. Back here at home, Democrats are criticizing the president after he appeared to declare his tweets would serve as notification to the United States Congress that should Iran strike any U.S. person or target, the United States will quickly and fully strike back.
You know, I hate to say this, but I think it's President Trump raising his middle finger at the Congress.
Here at home, there is no specific threat, but officials warn Iran does have potential assets inside the U.S. as well as cyber warfare capabilities. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
We are continuing to follow this developing story this morning. Coming up, ABC's Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz will be live from Tehran with the latest on Good Morning America.
It is 5:46. 5 people were killed and 60 were hurt after a massive pileup on a Pennsylvania highway. The crash happened on Sunday morning on a downhill curve on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Police say that the tour bus lost control and hit an embankment. 4 other vehicles, including a UPS and FedEx truck, were traveling behind the bus and crashed into it. Officials say weather may have been a factor in the crash.
There was some precipitation that was coming down, and I'm sure that could have played a factor, but we're so early in our investigation right now that it's hard to try and pinpoint anything specific.
Well, the tour bus was traveling from New Jersey to Cincinnati. It's unclear if they were headed to a specific event. This morning, officials say many remain hospitalized.
A crew of California firefighters are heading to Australia to help battle the country's deadly wildfires. A group of 20 veteran firefighters based in Los Angeles are scheduled to depart today. The fires have killed at least 23 people and burnt millions of acres in Australia. The spread is also devastating the animal population. Almost 500 million animals have been killed, and 1/3 of the koala population has been wiped out. Officials say the high temperatures have fueled the spread, and they need rain to get the fires under control. Well, somewhere with rain later this week is here in central Indiana. Thankfully, though, we are starting off our week quiet and dry.
That's right. So we're starting dry, but we're not going to stay that way. By this time Friday, we are going to see quite a bit of rain and into Saturday. Right now, though, our main thing is just how chilly it is this morning. Temperatures are in the low 30s. We're going to continue to see those drop off a little bit as we head into the next couple hours here. That's because those winds are out of the northwest right now, so we're seeing a little bit of a wind chill that is a factor. So it feels a little bit more like around 20 degrees as you step outside this morning. The good news is those winds are going to shift as we head through the day, so it won't feel as chilly by the afternoon. Temperatures also due to that clear sky that we have in control right now, so that's allowed us to cool down overnight. Clear skies are going to stick with us for most of the day. By the noon hour, temperatures will be close to around 40 degrees, and then we'll start to build in a little bit more cloud coverage as we head into the late afternoon and evening hours. That's due to just a quick disturbance that's going to move in from our west. All that's going to do is just bring us that cloud coverage overnight and into your Tuesday morning. We're not going to see any precipitation from that. Our precipitation isn't here until Thursday night, but it is going to be here, and it's going to bring us quite a bit of rainfall as we head into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Before that, though, Wednesday, we're going to see a bit of a cool down. So we're starting the week in the 40s with our daytime highs. By Wednesday, we're only climbing into the 30s as we see some cooler air settle in with this ridge of high pressure in place, but that will quickly be scooted out as an approaching low pressure system moves in late Thursday. What that's going to do is bring our temperatures up. Thursday afternoon will be into the 50s, and then we are also going to see quite a bit of rainfall with that. Also the potential of some gusty winds as that moves across our area. That is the first of 2 systems that's going to impact the area over the next several days in our 7-day forecast. The next system comes in late Friday and into Saturday. That one is going to bring us the potential for some heavier rain showers across the area and some snow showers to the extreme northern counties. Looking at the potential of 2 to 4 inches as that system moves across. That second one that's moving in late Friday. We do have some concern for flooding, and of course we'll keep you updated as that system gets gets closer. Today, temperatures will climb into the low 40s by the afternoon. We'll see those clouds increase throughout the day. Mostly sunny for your Tuesday as well, and then we cool down Wednesday before all that rain comes our way Thursday.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much for keeping a close eye on your commute right now. Here's a look at drive times right now. Heading through Hamilton County southbound on I-69. It's a quick 5-minute commute for you from State Road 37 in the Fishers area to the I-465 ramps on the northeast side. Let's take a look on the southeast side. I-465 and Arlington Avenue. Traffic here is moving along just fine. No issues to slow you down. We'll continue to keep you updated.
A Pennsylvania Walmart may be dealing with an infestation of bed bugs after someone put them in a fitting room. Police in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania say someone using the men's fitting room left a pill bottle with the live parasites inside a coat pocket that was for sale. After a health inspection, another bottle was found with dead bed bugs, and more were seen crawling around the men's changing rooms. Police say they are investigating why someone would do this.
Boeing says it may have found another design flaw with its 737 MAX plane. As part of an FAA audit last month, Boeing reported possible issues with the plane's wiring. That's according to a report from the New York Times. The company says it's looking into whether it could cause a short circuit that could lead to a crash. It's unclear right now if this will extend the grounding of the 737. A software flaw is what took the planes off the runway back in March. Well, the new year rang in with a surprising gift for one Uber driver. After the break, how a passenger's kindness put her year off to a great start. It is 5:51. Stick around. We'll be right back.
At Ashley Home Store, this is home.
Welcome back. It is 5:54 on your Monday morning. Back to work, back to school for several of you across central Indiana. And here's a look at your commute over on the west side. I-465 and I-74 traffic's moving along up to speed.
The new year came with a new outlook for an Uber driver in Las Vegas. Charlie Dantzler is a single mother and drove for the rideshare company on New Year's Eve. She was hoping to cash in on some partygoers, but she never thought she would get the gift she did. She said she drove a family down the strip, telling them her life story when they offered her a $2,000 tip. Dantzler said she broke down crying and says she never thought such kindness would ever come from a stranger. Now she is looking for that Arizona family to thank them in person.
Wow.
I've heard so
cool.
many great stories over the past few days, whether it be wait staff somewhere or just other folks who are in need of a leg up, getting a very lovely tip. I know a lot of people were doing a 2020 tip. So.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that on social media.
Yes.
Very cool heading into the new year.
All right, Alyssa, do we owe you a $2,000 tip for the forecast you're about to give us?
I don't know if you should give me one today.
That's very honest.
You know what? I've brought great forecasts in the past. Today, it's just okay. Temperatures are starting in the 30s this morning. As you're heading to the bus stop with the kids, you do need to bundle them up because we have this chilly northwesterly wind that's making it feel even colder than that to start our Monday morning. As we head through the day, though, those winds are going to shift. We're going to see it feel a little bit warmer, 43 degrees for our high. We are going to start with clear and sunny skies for your Monday, but then we are going to see those clouds increase this afternoon, staying fairly nice through Wednesday, and then we do have quite a bit of rain in the forecast to end the week.
We were part of the family, and now we're not. You know, it was our hope was taken away.
Only on RTV6, a jobs controversy. People planning to start jobs today will have no place to clock in. Rafael Sanchez joins us next with this exclusive story here on Good Morning Indiana.